Okay, you're on Farming Simulator 25. You bought a chainsaw for $1,000 and chopped down a tree. Now, what the heck do you do? Hi, I'm Farmer Teacher. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to show you the basics of forestry on Farming Simulator 25. Here's some very basic equipment we're going to look at, so let's jump right in. If you're playing without mods, a lot of the tree sections are going to be too heavy for you to pick up. So you're going to need a gizmo like this guy right here, and it transport logs, but it also has a crane attachment that helps you pick them up and put them on the transporting part. Okay, this gizmo right here is a stump grinder and allows you to get rid of the stumps once you've chopped down a tree. Of course, in order to chop down a tree, you're going to need a $1,000 chainsaw. And a really cool thing about Farming Simulator 25, for $36,000, you could purchase this small sawmill like you see here. Okay, this is the very basic pieces of equipment you'll need for forestry that you see here. Something to hollow the logs and pick them up, something to grind the stumps, a chainsaw to cut them down, and then of course a tractor with possibly a weight. Okay, this cool little apparatus right here allows you to haul the logs and pick them up, but you got to be sure you have the crane option that you see at the top there. Okay, and that's going to cost you $39,500. For $27,000, you can get this nifty stump grinder that you see here. You'll need a 90 horsepower or better tractor. Then, of course, you'll need a chainsaw for $1,000. All right, I picked this tree to chop down on the bottom right of the screen there. It tells me about it, that it's a Scotch pine and it's 26 meters tall. So that's some good info to know. I'm going to tilt my chainsaw. Look at the top left help buttons to see how to get your chainsaw out. But it's a little cross button on controller. Now I want to cut as low as I can. To do that, I'm going to hit Y and crouch down on the controller and then cut it low to the ground. The tree is going to fall to your right, so angle your body in a position that you want it to fall in. And there you go. Now what I got to do is lower my chainsaw, kneel down again, and go along the sides, edges of the trees. Some of them are underground, and it will chop the limbs off. I got better at this as I went, by the way, a little practice. I can just run by it now and chop them off. Okay, be sure you're crouched down, and it's cutting the limbs off. You have to crouch down so it gets the ones under the ground, and so you're close enough. Be sure your saw is aimed down. I didn't quite have it angled down enough on this video. There you go. So you do that until all the limbs are removed. Okay, I got all the limbs off. Now what I need to do is kind of just gauge where I'm going to cut the tree in a few pieces, maybe 3 or 4 pieces that will fit on my log transporter. So that's what I'm going to do right here. Okay, I got my tree cut in segments. What I like to do now is go and, especially if you're new at this, it's hard to see the tree in the tall grass. So I'll go to construction here and I'm going to paint this with regular low grass. So my tree is going to stand out. Now look at that. Easier to see so I can find it. Also, you can see your stumps. And there's a limb left. So let's chop him off. All right. Let's go get our loader. All right. So I like to pull this thing alongside my tree there. Sometimes after you play with it for a little bit, you get a preference, you know, left or right. That's up to you. Sometimes it's whatever's available if you got a lot of trees around. So the end down there I could probably hand pick up, but this other part is going to be too heavy for me to pick up. I'm going to need this crane. Put that on my trailer here. I'm not used to this particular piece of equipment yet. Once you get used to it, this goes a lot faster. You start to build a little muscle memory as far as the controls go. And in fact, even now, after I videoed this, I've done several trees and I've gotten a lot quicker with this piece of gear. Okay, I got all my logs on here. Not very pretty. Some of them still had limbs under the ground, but I'm going to take it over here to my sawmill. And there you go. I just loaded it into my sawmill. All right, now this one more piece of gear here. This is a winch. So suppose I didn't have far to go with my logs. What I could do is hook it to this winch and just drag the entire tree over to my sawmill. Now, if I was going all the way to the other side of the map down the road, I would need to use the trailer. But I can drag this to the sawmill using this winch, and it's going to be a lot quicker. Now, the winches aren't under the patch. You have to go down under Forestry and then look for winches, and you'll see it in there. It's only $8,500. So what I got to do is back up to my log, come off the tractor, go around to the back, stand right here at the back of this winch, press in on the left joystick, and then I'm going to hit RB and A to tie it up. Hop back on the tractor, and now I can drag this back to my sawmill, which is not very far away. So that's it. That's forestry, how to get started in a nutshell. I have another follow-on video with some bigger forestry equipment once your farm gets bigger. Share this with your farming buddies. I'm Farmer Teacher. Hit that like button down there. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.